How we do marketing in 2024 has dramatically changed thanks to AI. And in 2025, it's going to rapidly evolve again with the tech giants all competing for our attention and to become superior as search engine optimization and open AI models evolve. So, I wanted to share with you today on how you can stay ahead of the AI game and leverage it in your business so you can save time and resources. So, today I want to share with you how you can set up your own AI assistant in Perplexity AI. Now, you might be thinking, Deb, I've never heard of Perplexity. I've only ever used ChatGPT, but I'm going to share with you the advantages of why I use Perplexity over ChatGPT for a lot of my marketing activities these days. So, by the end of this session, I want you to be confident in being able to set up your own AI assistant. So, if we haven't met, I'm Deb Szabo. I'm a marketing strategist, and I am also a bit of a tech geek, and that has enabled me over the last 3 decades to stay up to date and evolve with the dramatic changes of digital marketing and how it helps business. And part of that evolution really came about over the last 5 years of evolving my video skills, because video has been a massive part of the businesses that I've worked with, their growth, and being able to leverage it. So that is one of the reasons why I became a video coach, and now I help people to be able to do strategic marketing leveraging video. But now with the advancements of AI, I've also really doubled down onto leveraging AI with video in our marketing. The current landscape with AI, it's made significant transformations for us as marketers. Now, as far as content creation goes, you'll pretty much find that 85% of us in marketing will use AI for content creation. Now, we also leverage it in analytics. We can get advanced forecast trends, customer behavior analysis, and also campaign planning as well. And as far as advertising goes, especially when it comes to, say, meta advertising or Facebook ads, we can get really, really precise with our targeting. All right, so the benefits for small business is essentially saves us time. Like if we can automate those repetitive tasks, we can save hours of time. And I'm going to share with you today how I do that myself. By doing this, it also reduces our costs, where before, if you were wanting to transcribe a podcast, for example, you would have had to pay someone and they would have had to manually go through the videos and transcribe the information. And that can take days even, where now I can do it with a click of a button instantly. Improve customer service. If you're using chatbots or VAs, it can really enhance our customer service experience and data-driven decision making. When it comes to setting up your AI assistants, we're going to set up our marketing spaces. So for me, I have essentially a marketing manager, which enables me to look at that data and be able to look at competitor analysis and consumer behavior. I also have a website copywriter. So I recently audited my website and I was able to optimize it for discoverability. I have a blog writer, an assistant that helps me repurpose my content with a click of a button, a video podcast producer. So if you're creating YouTube content and podcast content, this will blow you away of how easy this is. And then a content planner. So these are some of the things that you can set up with your marketing. I'm going to share with you why I prefer Perplexity AI over ChatGPT. Now, I love ChatGPT. I think it's been a game changer for us in business. But what I was finding is that it was starting to sound really generic and it was based on old data sets. Now, ChatGPT is rapidly evolving. You'll see that with Search GPT that's now getting rolled out. But I want to share with you why I still love Perplexity AI. So, Perplexity AI is a open AI program, but it incorporates different advanced AI program models. So I'm talking today specifically about the Pro version. The Pro version, just like if you want to get the most out of ChatGPT, you want to upgrade to the Pro version. Now it's $20 a month, which is the same as ChatGPT. But when you upgrade to the Pro version, you end up also getting ChatGPT 4 out of it as well. So it's definitely worth that investment, because not only do you get ChatGPT, but you also get Claude. Now, Claude is well known for advanced writing skills and data analysis as well. well. Sonar is one of the advanced models that is superior with searching. Meta Llama and then Perplexity has their own AI program that incorporates a lot of the elements as well. So again, search, complex reasoning, and writing is where Perplexity Pro really incorporates the best of everything. So unlike ChatGPT, it's only going to be pulling out information from one source. So Perplexity AI uses advanced AI models, and this gives us advanced and accurate, detailed information and fast responses, which is one of the reasons why I love it. Okay, real-time information. So we get the latest information on the web. So it is searching information in real time. This is really important if I want to do comparisons on what's open. For example, if I was looking for a restaurant, if I wanted to make a purchasing decision, I can look in real time of what offers are available. The other thing I love about Perplexity AI is it cites the sources of where it gets the information. So that helps with our credibility and being able to verify information, whether it's correct. There is a lot of inaccurate information, and ChatGPT also states it on the bottom of their website there that this information may not be correct. So the best thing about having the information sourced and cited is that you can go in and check it out and verify it to see that it is something that you want to use. Perplexity AI, I use it for brainstorming content ideas, market research, competitor analysis, generating outlines for my content. Now that could be from presenting a masterclass. I might ask it to give me some slides outline, right through to doing a full content plan and campaign plan. It's great for fact checking information, as I mentioned, because it searches real time and cites sources, and it's really advanced. Like if you want to do coding with it, if you want it to transcribe different languages. So when it comes to advanced search engine optimization, this is one of its greatest strengths. Now, what you will see, and I'll talk about this shortly, is that GEO is going to be the biggest buzzword for 2025 because how we search is going to be changing rapidly. Perplexity also has image generation models as well. This image was generated within Perplexity. You'll also see that shopping is coming in. It is available in American markets at the moment, but in Australia, we still don't have access to that. So just like, you might search for something, give me a comparison of things, and then you'll be able to click on it and buy it. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. Now, one of the things to note is Perplexity is one of the largest investors, is the owner of Amazon. So you can imagine the opportunities that will evolve with as well. So let's jump into Perplexity, and I want to give you a tour of how you can get the best information and set this up. We can come in and we can search, and we can choose our search. So we can just search the web. We can have a writing focus. We can have a reasoning focus. It can just discover videos for you. And it's also amazing for accredited industries. So if you're a doctor, a lawyer, any kind of accreditation industries, you want to be searching academic papers. And this is definitely Perplexity Pro's strength as well. So when we come into Perplexity to set up our AI assistant, we are going to set up a space. And then when you go to search something, it's called a thread. And when you go to a thread, you can choose to upload CSV files, PDFs, text files, and images. You can actually upload your URL for your website if you wanted to analyze that information. And then videos, of course. Now, it's not actually scanning the video. What it does is actually scan the information in the video. So the text file, the transcriptions is really important. Now, I go into this in Content Catalyst Blueprint, which is my program that I developed to help you have a content marketing strategy and planner so you can optimize your discoverability with search engines and leverage AI as well. So one of the things that I'm a massive fan on is using long form video, because it is one of the most powerful things that you will be able to leverage with your business in 2025. So let's set up your AI assistant. Now we're going to head over to Perplexity. If you've never been into Perplexity before, you're going to go in, set up an account. I've got a link there if you want to set up a pro version, and you'll get a discount with that. All right, so we have home, discover, spaces, and a library. And if you come down here, you'll be able to set up and tailor your information specifically about you. And then if you've got a team, you can also also set up a team access in here as well. But for today, we are going to focus on spaces. So what we're going to do is to set up our AI assistant, we are going to create a new space. Now you can see here, I've got different spaces. I've got client spaces in here, and I've also got marketing spaces as well. So for example, I want to show you how easy it is when you set up your assistant. So I've got a YouTube producer here. So when I create a video podcast, what I do is I go up and I will get the transcription of the video that I've edited. Here you can see I've uploaded my transcription and it's giving me the title, it's giving me the summary, the key points, the time codes, resources mentioned, and I've optimized it for keywords. So here it's got this video podcast is for you if you're interested in. These are actually keywords. So I can actually use these as my tags in YouTube, for example, and hashtags if I want them. Then I've also set this up to have the information about my products, such as my membership and my blueprint. These are my social media handles, and then I've got suggested titles. Now, to prompt further with this, it will continue with writing me a blog and social media content. This is an example of a podcast producer. So then if I come over to here, I've also got a blog writer. Now, the thing about this is I've actually tagged on my blog writer into my producer because I'm leveraging the transcription information. But what I do suggest is when you're setting up your blog writer is to set up a separate blog writer, train it, because one of the things with any AI, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, it has to understand your language and tone. So it will do its best to interpret what you've said, but I have a very different style. I like to write an opinion style, and I like to give tips and helpful information. So because of that, I have trained my blog writer, and once you've trained your blog writer, it makes it easier to go in and write the information. So I've got a campaign launch manager here as well. So I can come up here and I go, I want to launch, and this is one I did just before. So I can paste up my prompt of going, I want to launch Content Catalyst membership in January. And because I've loaded the prompt in there, it's actually going to give me a full campaign launch program with those date ranges based on how I've set it up with the information. And it's going to put it into a table format. So I know what reels, what emails, what social media, what activities that I need to do each day as a checklist. And then I can put that in my project manager board, such as Trello or Monday, whatever you use. So it's got the dates and everything in there. So that is what you can do with setting up your assistants. So how do we do this? Well, like I mentioned, make sure that you go in and set up the information about you first, and then we're going to go up and set up a space. Okay, so what we're going to do is set up our content planning space. All right, so here I'm going to call it a content planner. Let's add an emoji. I like a star. And then what I'm going to do is come down here. Now, at this stage, you can choose, if this was a blog writer and you like using Claude, you can actually choose Claude in your content writing, for example. Otherwise, I just leave it as default because to me, it's going to give me the best results based on what I'm asking it. So you can choose it here. All right, so I'm going to go over and I'm going to copy that AI prompt that I had. And I'm going to go back to Perplexity, and then I'm going to paste this in here. And when you go into February, for example, I would change that to February. And it might be create a signature series. And my lead magnet is a branding guide. All right, so I have now created that custom prompt, and now it's going to give me the information. Now, the most important thing when you are creating AI prompts is you want to trial it out, and then you want to refine it and monitor it. Basically, when I go to make a custom AI prompt, I will fine tune it until I get the layout that I want. So, for example, the show notes for YouTube, I had to play around with that for a little bit because I wanted the timestamps to be created in a particular way. I needed the information to come out in a strategic sequence for search engine optimization. So basically, there's my weekly plan here, and I now have it in a table format, and it's got all my recommendations in here. So now I can take this and I can put this in my planner and give it to my assistant, and they can start working on content for February, basically. So in here, I have, because in the Content Catalyst Blueprint, I have a repurposing guide. So what I've asked it is to give me a YouTube video each week and then break that down into repurposed content for a blog and a podcast and social media posts, carousel posts, story ideas, and my newsletter. And it's giving me the topics and captions as well. And it's broken all that information down, and I've asked it to also include the keywords. So the information here is basically as I've asked it. If you want to go deeper, then you just need to update your information in the actual custom prompt. So if you do want to get the Perplexity Pro, you can use my refer a friend QR code, and in there you'll get a discount and I get a discount. So we have a win-win. So you can scan that QR code if you want to give it a go. All right. So the thing to remember when you are setting up an AI assistant in Perplexity or any other AI program is that your prompt is only ever going to be as good as the information that you program it with it. So I just recommend fine-tuning it and monitoring it until you get it exactly as you want. Now, I have crafted in my Content Catalyst Blueprint a whole series of AI prompts to shortcut that process and give you information. But I'm going to share with you, there's 7 steps in crafting an effective prompt. So the first thing is to be clear and specific. You want to use active verbs and provide specific instructions. So the more focused you can be with those instructions and clear with them, the better the information you will get as the result. Provide context, so give background information. Now, the reason why I created Content Catalyst Blueprint is so you could actually have all of that information ready to go in the most comprehensive way that you can program your AI assistants. So, for example, your target audience, your messaging, your core offer, your keywords, all of these things are in the blueprint that you can take them, copy and paste them, upload them easily into Perplexity AI and set up your assistants for all of your activities in your business. So that's just not for your marketing, that's for everything that you do. So use examples in your prompts to guide and help it with the format. So when I did the show notes for the podcast producer, I actually told it that I want the headings here and I want the subheadings and I want it bullet pointed here, and the title of it named this instead of that. So the keywords were named "This podcast is for you if," rather than just keywords. So the more specific you can be, the better you're going to get. Now, break down the tasks. Now, this is what I was going back to with my podcast producer. Once I've recorded my YouTube video, I would take the edited transcription after I've edited the video and I'll upload it in there for the show notes. Now, it will also write me a blog because I have actually given it a chain of thought approach in the beginning and I've trained it. But what I mean by that is I want you to give it one task first, master that, and then fine tune it and then add to it on top of it. Give it specific output format. So again, make sure that you're getting it in a table format, bullet points, headings, subheadings, and it will give you the information. That's really important, especially when it comes to writing blogs and show notes and any kind of content planning content. So test and adjust. As I mentioned, it's really important to monitor and fine tune it. And it could just be a little thing of updating the prompt to say this instead of that. And then, as I mentioned before, prompt chaining. This is really important because you don't want to overload the program. And this is often what happens with ChatGPT. I see a lot of people make this mistake, is that they'll try to give the AI too many things and it hasn't first clarified the first thing. So what I What I encourage you to do is break down the tasks first into manageable steps. So, for example, if I was the wanting it to be my content marketing manager, I would first upload all the information in there about my core offer, and then upload the target audience, and then upload the keywords. Get all those things programmed first, and then you can go in and then ask it to write a marketing plan. But don't ask it to write a marketing plan and give it all the information. Just give it one thing at a time, get the right answer, and then go and do the next response. So always content, always refine it as you go, and then just keep it in context for those the multi steps. Otherwise, it will get confused. All right. So an example of that when we do prompt training could be the initial prompt is analyze the target audience for a new fitness app aimed at busy professionals. That's step number one. So what we would do is upload our target audience avatar prompt. And then we would ask a follow up question. So, based on the audience, now generate 5 content ideas that would appeal to busy professionals in that industry. The next step is take the best content idea and create a detailed outline for the blog post. So, if you go back to the content planner, I've asked it to write carousels, but I haven't actually given it the next prompt to say, now write the carousel. That would be in a second stage of being able to ask it to write the carousels for the month. Okay. And then the final step is outline and write an engaging introduction for the blog post. So you can see here that we've asked it in multiple steps, in 4 different steps to get the answer. So it's not overloaded and it gives you clarity. Now, the other thing with Perplexity, and the same with other search engines, that they will favor their information based on credible sources. So the whole thing with getting you the information with search engines, whether it's Google, ChatGPT, Meta, Perplexity, the machine AI program model wants to give you the best answer possible. And what they will do is they will look for the most relevant and up to date information, and it will also favor certain platforms because of that credibility information as well. So, what I recommend you do is identify the relevant platforms for your industry. So, if you're in the travel industry, you need to look at your TripAdvisor. If you are in the restaurant industry, you've got Yelp. Now, Yelp is really big in America. In Australia, I know in the city it's popular, but when it comes to being up in the Hunter Valley, it's not something that we generally use. But I'm going to say that you need to consider these things if you want to be discovered, because especially if you're in the tourism industry, people are now going into Perplexity and Search GPT to say, write me a itinerary for 3 days in the Hunter Valley, and I want to go to 2 wineries and a restaurant. It's going to be pulling that information from the most relevant sources, and a lot of it's user generated information and reviews. E-commerce, Amazon. Remember I said about the owner of the big investor into Perplexity is the owner of Amazon, Jeff, and Reddit. So these are 2 parts, 2 programs to look at. Finance, healthcare. So think about if you're in these industries, have a look at it. Now, Reddit isn't probably as popular here in Australia as it is in America, but Reddit is a really big source of content, especially when it comes to YouTube videos and ranking them as well. So have a think about setting up a Reddit channel and engaging over there as well. So, if you wanted to set up a marketing manager assistant, what you need to do is if you have the Content Catalyst Blueprint worksheet, you would upload your offer, your avatar, your messaging exercise, which is the vivid story, and the keywords and your brand vibe. Now, when you upload all of that into Perplexity, it will now give you the right information and the correct information when you go to ask it to create a new product offer, when you go to ask it to write a marketing plan, when you go to create a campaign. This information is really important to program it into the actual space itself. Same with your podcast. You want to make sure that you've got all of that information set up in there, and then you can upload your transcription and go. Your blog writer, again, it can use your transcription to train it. But what I also recommend with it is when you write, like when it gives you a blog, I always go in and rewrite it or fine tune it or tweak it and then I will actually paste the blog back into Perplexity, and I will actually then say, this is what I've written based on what you gave me. And so what it does then, it analyzes what I've written, and I've updated it, and then it learns from that. So that's really important, is that you want to always give it the other information. Same with emails. When it writes an email for me, I will go back in and go, here's my version. Now learn from that. Now, one of the things that I mentioned before was GEO. This is massive, and I mentioned it earlier this year. Generative Engine Optimization is critical. It is critical. So we are staying up to date, because ChatGPT, Perplexity, every of the big guys, their AI bots need certain styles of information to be able to give the person asking the question the best answer. These guys are going head to head. You will see, like Google's already announced their massive changes over the last day with Gemini. Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, he's all in. He is going hard with Llama. He wants to be at the top of the chain. So these guys are hard hitting, and you want to make sure that whether it's whatever your chosen AI assistant is, you want to make sure that it's up to date with discoverability. And that was the reason why I created Content Catalyst Blueprint, is so you could actually get the best information of your business clear and with the right guidance for discoverability. So the blueprint is a online program. It's an on-demand program to give you a content marketing strategy and plan, so you have systems and optimized automations to make your life easier for you and your team. So if you need to know your niche, if you need to identify your target audience, now you might go, I know who my target audience is. It's women from 40 to 50. Great. But what this will do is actually profile them a lot more. And the deeper that you go, the better that the outcome will be with actually creating copy for your website, with creating offers. Okay, so if you need to fine tune your branding, for example, in Content Catalyst in February, we are looking at developing our signature series to promote our core offer, which we'll focus on in January. So optimizing your SEO with those keywords and knowing how to leverage keywords in all your content is so important. And that's why there's a whole lesson just based on that. Defining your content topics. Now, your content topics are not just make entertaining information, educational information. What your content topics are the specific ways that you add value and solve your audience's problems. So when you define those, the approach or the angle that you take is educational or inspirational or fun or whatever that is. So there is a big difference in this. Okay, getting custom AI prompts, as I've mentioned to you, I spend a lot of time making AI prompts for assistants so you can automate things, but I also spend a lot of time refining them. And in fact, I'm actually about to send out the next AI custom prompt for our members this afternoon. And then being able to batch and repurpose content. You want to work smarter, not harder. And that is the reason why I have created the blueprint for that. We want to optimize our strategies. We want to be specific. We want to focus on user-generated content, and we want to leverage media, so multimedia. So the thing about with discoverability is that what you'll notice with Perplexity and with other AI programs, they are scanning videos, in particular YouTube videos. YouTube is a massive focus inside Content Catalyst membership for next year, for 2025, because I know that this is what is going to matter when it comes to being discovered. Because why YouTube videos have so much clout is because generally it's longer form information, which means it contains more information, both text and visuals. And of course, these programs love it. So you want to optimize, focus on long tail keywords, which is what I've included in the blueprint. You want to have those clear answers that answer the specific questions your audience is asking. And you want to have relevant, fresh information. That is the reason why I created Content Catalyst Blueprint, is so you could actually have the systems to be able to create all of this information to optimize AI search discoverability, and also make it easier for you to do it on a weekly and a monthly basis for you and your team. So if you're a solopreneur, then this is ideal for you, because this will shave hours off your thing. If you've got a team, this is amazing as well, because it means that you're turning up for this and they're actually doing these tasks. And that's why I've got an actual planner in there as well. This is meant to be done within a day. Like you could do the blueprint on Friday. By Monday, you'll have a full content marketing strategy and plan. So we look at our messaging, we look at our audience, we look at our transformation promise that we take our audience through with our offer, and we look at optimizing those keywords. We also look at our branding, our platforms, and optimizing our platforms so we are getting discovered. We look at our topics that are tailored to our business and our metrics as well, because what we measure grows. Now, the final thing is, when we create our content, we then want to optimize, automate, and batch it. And we also want to be able to repurpose that efficiently and effectively as well. So there is a system and a checklist in here so you can do that so easy. I can create a video and then push out and edit it and push out content to 15 pieces of content marketing across multiple platforms within, under 3 hours. So you get a scheduler as well. I have a scheduler planner in Trello. It's a Trello board, which gives you a checklist for you and your team so you can keep up to date with what's coming up each week. So if you want to know your niche and you want to optimize, systemize, and automate your content marketing, then check out Blueprint. There is 3 modules inside the Blueprint. This is not a course that you buy and never finish. This is designed so you can smash through it really quickly. And because of that, I'm actually doing weekly momentum calls, which are live session group coaching calls to get you unstuck. Now, I have a special offer at the moment where you can get 70% off the blueprint. So if you would like to get a blueprint for your business so you are set for 2025 and get your marketing, it's not just your content marketing, it's all of your business growth strategy set up, then you can get a blueprint using the coupon code for $297 today. So if you want to do that, scan that QR code and you will be able to take advantage of that offer. I hope this session has been helpful, and please tag me on Instagram or send me a DM if you have questions. I hope to see you inside Content Catalyst Blueprint. It is going to be a massive advantage for you for 2025. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm Deb Szabo. Thanks for your time.